Chief is a family-owned, Nebraska-based company comprised of 7 diverse brands. Chief, trusted, tested, true.
Good morning, everybody. It is time for another day in the pivot track closer. We have one more field left to do. Then, after we're done with that field, we are going to go visit Grant out in a different field and apply some anhydrous ammonia. I think you guys are going to really like today's video. We have a lot to do. This is my last day at home. Tomorrow, Grant and I leave to go somewhere really special. I think you guys are going to love it. We're gonna take you guys with us. Never forget to pop your flashers on when you're going down the road. Even though it's Saturday morning and it appears that things are pretty sleepy around here. Not a lot of traffic on the roads. I just passed one field where people are still harvesting, but other than that, all of the crops, for the most part, are out of the field around here, and I am seeing some other people with pivot tracks closed, but it feels like I'm the only person out here this morning. It is very cold. Well, it's not very cold. It's probably 25 or 30 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's not that cold, but it's pretty chilly and very, very windy. I'm glad the sun is out. We have successfully made it out to the field. This is a center pivot. Here we have it parked along the railroad tracks. Actually, if you're ever driving down Interstate 80, see all those semi tracks over there, you might as well just give me a big old wave because I might just be in the field over here. These pivot tires leave tracks as it goes through the field. This one doesn't go in a complete circle, kind of does like a half windshield wipe type action against this railroad track here. So here's the track in front of us. We have this brand new Orthman track tiller that is going to close our pivot tracks for us. I will show you the after result. Just driving cross rows like this, closing the track. It gets pretty bumpy in here. This would be a perfect application to have big tires or tracks. Would be so cool to have an 8RX while doing this. There are some points where you are driving just directly across the rows. All right, let's get out and see what kind of job this is doing. Here is the before. See how the machine sits in that pivot track? There is the after. Look at how perfectly smoothed out that is. So nice, smooth finish. Do you guys see those 3 specks in the distance? Those are either 3 Chinooks or 3 helicopters flying right in a line. It looks like they're coming right for above me. You don't see that every day. Wonder what that's about. Do you guys see that bird? I think it's an owl. It's looking at me right now. Last track closed, and just in time because we are almost out of fuel. Time to head back to the yard to fuel up and then go meet Grant. All right, got out of the tractor, made some lunch, brought it out to the field. Now we are in the brand new 8R 340, and I'm with Grant, and we are going to talk a little bit about anhydrous ammonia. It is so windy outside. Oh, hold up, I gotta back the tracker up a little bit. Opted for filming in the cab so that I could actually explain to you guys what's going on and not be blown away out there. So Grant is hooking up the tank to our bar. This is an Orthman 8450. It is folded up right now. Wanted to be able to show you guys a little bit closer at the shanks, but right now he's just hooking the hitch of the ammonia tank up to our implement. Then he is going to be taking the hose from the implement and hooking it up to that tank. These are delivered out to the field from your local co-op, and they hold approximately around 5,000 pounds of ammonia in its liquid form. Here's that hose. And he has gloves on and goggles. In theory, you should never breathe any anhydrous ammonia. It is extremely dangerous. It can burn you so deeply. In fact, if you breathe it in, it can burn your nose and your lungs. So it's very important to remember to keep valves shut, to wear proper protective gear, and then also carry around water just in case you would get any in your eyes or on your skin. It's really dangerous, but it is absolutely essential to modern day crop production. And when Grant gets here in the cab, we'll tell you a little bit more about it. But we truly could not farm, and you guys could not eat the food that you do without anhydrous ammonia. Right now, the hose is connected, so now he is just opening the valve to the implement. The ammonia goes through a cooler, so it stays in its liquid form as it goes through those shanks. Do you see that line? The shanks are what actually put the fertilizer in the ground. They go down about 8 or 9 inches. When they come in contact with air, it turns into a gas form. Now he is opening the tank, and I told him to bleed it out just a little bit. I'm going to unfold the machine now. Oh boy. Grant says that's okay. That is what anhydrous ammonia looks like when it comes in contact with air. It smells really, really, really bad, and it looks like kind of a white smoke. If you have ever been around anhydrous ammonia or even just caught a whiff of it, it's rough. It's actually kind of a good thing that it's really windy today, because if a leak were to occur, if something were to come unhooked or something, we have enough wind to carry it away from us.
I look like a, I don't know.
Mad scientist, maybe.
These are my insulated gloves, so if there was a leak, I wouldn't get burned by the anhydrous, and these are to protect my eyes, obviously.
I need those eyeballs of yours. They're important to me.
This little foot switch on the floor turns the gas on.
So you're using auto steer.
I am using auto steer.
You have the shanks in the ground. You turn the gas on with the foot switch. And what are you monitoring over there?
So I'm putting 125 pounds of nitrogen on. That's my target. And I'm actually putting on 130, 120, 117, 125, 125. It takes a little bit, since it's been off for a while, to get reallocated, but we're good now. So I'm painting the line. My gauges look good back there.
We have a lot of chemical reactions happening back there, right, Grant?
Oh yeah. So the ammonia comes out of the shank as a liquid, but then as soon as it hits the soil, it's like warming up / depressurizing, and so it's turning into a vapor, but it's trying to find water. So see how nice and moist that dirt is? It's bonding to all the water molecules in there. So it's holding the dirt. But you can see there's a little bit that escapes through the air.
This is one of many different ways to apply fertilizer to a field. You can put on anhydrous ammonia in the fall or the spring, depending on your area. You can apply dry fertilizer through a big spreader. You can apply liquid fertilizer, which you've seen us do with that big bar and tank in the middle. Lots of different options. What's super cool about modern technology, especially in tractors like this, doing jobs like this, is that you can apply fertilizer at a very field specific, but even down to acre specific rate. So instead of just applying a flat rate across the field, depending on whether it's dry land or a hillside or flat or sloped or what's been done to the field in previous years, you can go out, grid sample your fields, get the results back, and then this technology is capable of adjusting the rate as you go along the field. So you're only putting down what you need and what the plants can use. This field was soybeans this year. Next year it's going to be corn. We are applying the anhydrous on either side of the row. So we'll plant the corn in between those dark lines that we're making. The roots can go down and find the nitrogen that's in the soil. So this is actually my first time running a tractor putting on anhydrous. I've never actually done this before. I have ridden with Dad and he taught me how to do it, but I never actually did it by myself. And so it's really fun to be able to do this with Grant, take you guys along with me. This is kind of one of the more nerve-wracking jobs. I feel like there's the usual amount of things that could go wrong anytime you're doing an operation in the field, but there's just kind of like a heightened level of danger, it seems like. All the proper precautions have been taken and something would have to go extremely wrong for something bad to happen, but
I always say it's like cooking oil, like hot oil is dangerous and hydrous ammonia is dangerous, but know what you're doing and wear the proper safety stuff, like
you should be good.
Should be good.
You might get some good french fries out of it.
Get some good corn out of this.
You can get some good corn out of this.
I don't know if Laura explained this, but the corn needs anhydrous ammonia for the nitrogen that's in there because it cannot use nitrogen from the air. Bacteria has to convert the nitrogen from the air to a form that the corn can use, but we are just bypassing all of that and putting a form of nitrogen that the corn can use in the soil.
We do not apply anhydrous ammonia to every field. Try to look at every field like it has a different personality and it needs to be treated differently. It has different soil types, it's had a different crop on it in the past year. So like I said, this was a soybeans double field. We usually put anhydrous ammonia on fields that were soybeans in the previous years. On other fields, we like to use liquid fertilizer. There's some fields that we put dry fertilizer on. I made a video on that last year. It was on like the coldest day of the year, but it's applied to this super cool floater machine. Big tires, big booms that come out. It kind of looks like a sprayer in a tractor out of baby. But every field we do just something a little bit different to every year. This is not the last operation that we'll do to this field before we plant it. So this field has been harvested. It has had the pivot tracks closed. That's what I was doing this morning. We are applying anhydrous ammonia. After this, I'm guessing the next thing we'll do is root slice it, and then it will be ready to plant into next spring. The knives that actually apply the ammonia through those little hoses can actually be removed. Then you can use this same toolbar once the corn is 2 feet tall, go through and hill everything. Multi-use implement, pretty handy. This toolbar is made by Orthman, which is the same brand that made my track tiller that I was using this morning. They are a Nebraska-based company that was recently acquired by Unverfirth. I feel like there is always something interesting going on at the farm, and I always learn something new. Seriously, every single day. Even when I'm doing a job that I've done a million times before, something new always sticks out at me, and so it's really fun to be able to take you guys along with me on my farming journey. Truly, there is something new every single day. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!